Picture this. You're living your best life in your dream home, with everything you've worked for. You've got your backyard oasis, your perfect hot tub, where you can unwind after a long day, a place to escape and relax. Then one day, you're hit with a Karen. And not just any Karen, but an HOA Karen. Not only does she want to tell you how to live, but she's got the power to take away your peaceful retreat. But here's the kicker. Instead of backing down, you decide to do something so outrageous, so over the top, that she'll regret ever messing with you. So how did I go from having a simple hot tub to creating my very own luxury spa resort in my backyard? Buckle up, because this story is going to get wild. It all started a few months ago. I had just bought this beautiful property in a quiet suburban neighborhood. It had everything I ever wanted: peace, space, and a view of the lake. One of the first things I did was put in a hot tub. Not a cheap, flimsy one, no. This was the top of the line, high-end spa that I'd always dreamed about. It had jets, mood lighting, and enough space for me and my friends to relax, enjoy a drink, and chat. Perfect, right? But then came the unexpected problem. Margaret, the new neighbor from hell, and her self-appointed role as the HOA police. Now, I should have known something was off when Margaret moved in. She was one of those people who just couldn't mind her business. She would walk around the neighborhood like she owned it, always with a clipboard in hand, writing down violations that no one else seemed to care about. I thought it was just one of those weird quirks that some people have. But little did I know, she had an agenda. One evening, I was sitting in my brand new hot tub, enjoying the calm, the water bubbles, and the stars above. It was the perfect evening, the kind of night that made all the hard work worth it. But as I settled in, I saw her standing across the fence, arms crossed, glaring at me. It was like something out of a movie, the kind of scene where you know trouble is about to start. I waved at her, trying to be friendly. "Hey Margaret, how's it going?" She didn't wave back. She didn't even acknowledge me. She just stood there for a few moments, staring at my hot tub like it was a crime scene. Finally, she turned around and stormed off. I didn't think much of it. Big mistake. The next day, I was having coffee on my patio when I heard the sound of a knock on my door. I opened it, expecting a package or maybe a friendly neighbor. But instead, there she was again, Margaret, with that look of judgment on her face. "I need to talk to you about your hot tub," she said, her tone as cold as ice. "It's a violation of HOA rules." I was taken aback. "What do you mean?" "It's a hot tub. It's in my backyard. It's harmless." "Well," she said, her eyes narrowing, "it's too close to the property line, and the noise from the jets is disturbing the peace. I've already filed a complaint with the HOA, and you're going to have to remove it." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The hot tub wasn't even that loud. The water jets weren't exactly the noisy neighbor type, and it was well within the rules of the neighborhood. But Margaret had an agenda, and she wasn't about to back down. "You can't be serious," I said, trying to remain calm. "Oh, I'm serious. And if you don't remove it, the HOA is going to fine you. You don't want to go down that road," she replied, clearly enjoying every second of this. I couldn't believe it. My peaceful, relaxing retreat was about to be taken away by someone who had nothing better to do than complain about something as harmless as a hot tub. But here's the twist. I wasn't about to let her win. I wasn't going to let Margaret the HOA Karen dictate how I lived my life in my own home. So, I did what any reasonable person would do. I decided to get creative. Instead of just removing the hot tub and giving her the victory, I decided to turn this whole situation into something bigger, something so grand, so out of the box, that Margaret would regret ever getting involved. I had a lot of space in my backyard, so instead of taking down the hot tub, I started dreaming up a plan. What if I could build something way bigger and better? What if I could turn this backyard into a luxury spa resort, a place so nice, so over the top, that the HOA and Margaret would have no choice but to just accept it? I got to work. The first step was to hire a designer, someone who could help me turn my backyard into the ultimate relaxation destination. I wanted water features, a gorgeous patio, luxurious lounge areas, and, of course, a huge spa that would make Margaret's complaints look silly. I wasn't just going to add a few plants and call it a day. I was going to transform the entire space into a high-end resort-style retreat. Next, I started sourcing the best materials. I wasn't cutting any corners on this. I wanted marble, granite, and glass, premium landscaping, and even a waterfall feature that would make people's jaws drop. And of course, I made sure the entire design completely exceeded any HOA guidelines, not just to make my space amazing, but to rub it in Margaret's face that I wasn't going to be pushed around. I worked tirelessly over the next few weeks, overseeing every detail. I had a team of workers in and out of my backyard every day, putting in the pools, the stone pathways, the outdoor sauna, the hot tub, which would now be a centerpiece, and everything that would make this place feel like a high-end resort. As the project progressed, I began to get excited. This was more than just a rebellion. It was the creation of a personal paradise that no one, especially Margaret, could take away from me. And then came the big day, the day when everything finally came together. The backyard was complete. The spa resort was ready. I stood in awe at the final product. The massive outdoor pool with infinity edges, the sleek outdoor lounge area with comfy chairs and a fire pit, the luxurious hot tub with jets that could easily be the highlight of any five-star hotel. The landscaping was lush, green, and vibrant, with tropical plants surrounding the area. The spa felt like a private retreat. It was breathtaking, but I didn't stop there. I also had a few special touches to really make this feel like a resort. A poolside bar with stools, a relaxation gazebo, and even a hidden section with soft seating for private moments. It was an oasis, a sanctuary, and it was all mine. When everything was finally finished, I stood there, looking at the transformation I had just created. My backyard was no longer just a patch of grass with a simple hot tub. It was a luxury spa resort, a dream come true, and something that no HOAKaren could ever take away. The best part? I was proud of it, but that wasn't all. The real victory would come when I could sit back and watch Margaret's reaction. I knew she wouldn't take this lying down, but I wasn't concerned. She had started this whole drama, and now it was my turn to show her what it really meant to take a stand. I invited a few of my friends over for the grand unveiling. I'd been working on this project for weeks, and I knew they'd be just as blown away as I was. As the sun began to set, and the soft glow of the lights around the pool and spa started to illuminate the yard, everyone gathered around, drinks in hand, admiring the view. We didn't waste any time getting in the hot tub, and I made sure to pour myself a drink and relax, knowing that everything I had built was now mine, free from complaints, free from Margaret's petty rules, and completely out of her reach. But Margaret wasn't going to let it slide that easily. The next day, she came over to my house, and I could see her from the window, walking up to the gate. She had that familiar look on her face, that disapproving stare. I opened the door and greeted her with a smile. "Hey Margaret, what's up?" "I'm here to talk to you about this," she said, pointing at the resort-like backyard behind me. "This is not allowed. You've completely ignored the HOA's rules, and I'm going to make sure they know about it." I could feel my blood pressure rising, but I kept my cool. "You know, Margaret, I remember you saying my hot tub was a violation. Well, look at what we have here now. This is more than just a hot tub. This is a luxury retreat. I think you'll agree that it's perfectly within my rights to build something like this, especially when it's on my property." She stood there, trying to come up with a comeback, but she was struggling. She had no ground to stand on. The HOA's guidelines didn't specifically prohibit something as grand as this. I wasn't breaking any laws. I knew it, and deep down, Margaret knew it too. "I'm reporting this to the HOA," she said, her voice shaking. "You can't just build something like this." I looked her dead in the eye. "Go ahead, but let me remind you, I've already complied with all the rules. The HOA can't stop me from enjoying my property however I want. And if they try, I'll fight back with everything I've got. You've been trying to mess with me for months, and look at this place now. It's a luxury spa resort. Nothing's changing." She stood there for a moment, glancing back at the spa. I could see the wheels turning in her head. She was angry, sure, but I could tell she was also a little impressed. Deep down, she probably realized that she had underestimated me. She gave me one last glare before turning and walking away, and I knew that was the last time she'd ever try to interfere with my life again. From that point on, I didn't hear from her much. The HOA never came after me. Sure, she may have reported me, but the neighborhood had already seen what I created, and they loved it. People started coming over to my place, and soon enough, my spa resort became the talk of the town. It wasn't just about the luxury. It was about standing up for what was mine. It was about taking control of my space and showing that no one could make me feel small. I hosted more gatherings, threw some pool parties, and even rented out the space for a few small events. My backyard became a local landmark, a place where people came to relax and enjoy themselves. It wasn't just a victory for me. It was a victory for anyone who had ever been bullied by an HOAKaren or anyone who thought they could control someone else's life. And as for Margaret, well, she didn't come around much anymore. Every time I saw her, I couldn't help but smile a little. She had tried to ruin my life, but instead, she had created the opportunity for me to build something incredible. I thought about sending her a thank you note, but I didn't want to rub it in too much. In the end, I got what I wanted. I stood up for myself and turned a bad situation into something beautiful. I wasn't just enjoying a hot tub anymore. I was enjoying a luxury spa resort that I had created with my own two hands. No one, especially Margaret, could take that away from me. If you've ever had a Karen in your life, or if you've ever had an HOA trying to control your life, I've got one piece of advice for you. Stand your ground. Don't back down. Get creative. Think outside the box. And make sure you're living the life you deserve. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories of defiance, creativity, and standing up to the Karens of the world. I'll see you in the next one.